Hi, I'm Polly Bath, and I help schools around the country with improving and managing and changing behaviors that are really interrupting the instruction that we'd like to be putting out as teachers. And so today, I'm going to answer a question for you coming from a middle school teacher. The question is, shouldn't my middle school students be able to get from one location to another on their own? Essentially, yes, they should. But that's the big problem, is it's an assumption that because by the time I'm in middle school, I should be able to know how to get from one place to another. But let me tell you a little bit about transitions. Transitions are a cognitive skill, and they actually are really difficult for people, but we really don't think about it as much. So I'm going to ask you to think about it. Every time you move from one place to another, you either do it unconsciously or you do it purposefully. And when things happen abruptly, we have a harder time. So let's look at elementary school. When we transition our kids from one place to another, let's say from lunch to recess, recess in the building, one class to another classroom, whatever it might be, we tend to line them up. So let's take lunch, for example. We line them up. People carry their lunches to the lunchroom for them. They often collect their lunches when lunch is over, and then they go out to recess, where they line up again, and they come in a very orderly fashion. We do this for reasons to avoid chaos, get them all in one piece, and for many different reasons. And some people are big fans of lines, others are not, and that's okay. But when it comes to middle school, the problem is, what I see, is all of a sudden a bell rings, and it's, go to lunch. Nobody's lining me up, nobody's carrying my lunch for me, and nobody's kind of giving me a lot of direction. So the expectation goes from a very structured format to a very unstructured. I got to go to my locker now. Never had one of those when I was in the 4th grade. And I got to go to my locker, got to get my lunch, got to get to the cafeteria, got to navigate that. Then I have to get back to my classroom after on my own while I'm being interrupted with the most important thing in my entire life, which is my peers in the hallway. So we really need to think about how we gradually give them back the control. So we might have to start out by transitioning our middle schools, not quite as tight as we do in elementary school, but helping them along the way so that they can eventually be able to do it on their own. The other thing to consider is you have that chronological age versus developmental age. If you have a 12-year-old who maybe looks like they're acting like an 8-year-old, developmentally, they could really be 8. And so they're going to take a little bit longer to be able to independently get from one place to another. So bottom line, don't assume. Remember, the transitions are super hard. You're going to have to kind of wean them into it and then pull back to help them guide along so they can kind of get that on their own a little better. Thanks for watching today. And if you have questions that you might like to see answered in future videos, put those in the comments below.